Hi, my name is Travis, and do you want to hear the whole story of Christmas? Well, it all started with a man named Abraham and a man named who's that called again? Isaiah. Do you remember the tree promise of Abraham? Well, if you don't know, his first he will Abraham's family will become a nation. If you don't know what's a nation is like a group of a lot of people that live in a big town. And the second promise is Abraham will have their very own land, the promised land, and through that nation there will be a blessing for the whole wide world. And after 15,000 years, two of those promises came true. But the last promise hadn't came true yet. Until a young woman named Mary, who lives in Nazareth, God sent the angel to tell her a message. You will have a son. A son? But I'm not even married. Mary wasn't married yet, but she promised to marry a man named Joseph. And the angel said he will be the Son of God. The Son of God, you may ask. Was this the blessing that the people have been waiting for? Was this the Messiah? Well, it was. And the angel said the baby's name will be Jesus. And Mary was brave. But you may think she would faint on the ground right then. But Mary was brave and she said, I am the servant of the Lord. May this happen just as you said. Mary really trusted God. And after Joseph and Mary got married, and when Mary was pregnant, they needed a place for the baby to be born. So you may ask, what if the baby was born in a fancy palace or a nice warm inn? Well, all of the inns were full and Mary was poor and Joseph was poor. So they traveled to a place called Bethlehem, and they got there by a hee-haw donkey. That must have been hard. And when they reached the town of Bethlehem, they need a place for the baby to be born. So you may think that Jesus will be born in a nice warm inn or a nice warm palace. But all of the inns were full. And Mary was poor, so she couldn't afford a palace. So Jesus was born in a peacock, oink oink, moo moo, a stinky, smelly, old, rusty barn. And when the baby was born, when Mary gave birth to baby Jesus, the animals celebrated, and a bunch of angels got nearby and said, Hallelujah! They celebrated the birth of the new baby king. And where do you think God's mighty angels announced the birth of his son? Well, He may think they would send it to the most important people, to the richest, most powerful, important people of the whole wide world, like kings and queens, powerful generals, or very, very rich people. But no, God's mighty angels celebrated the birth of the Son to shepherds, stinky, smelly old men, hay, and stinky, smelly old sheep. Meh. So, God doesn't do the ways things that we think He should. So that wasn't the end of the story yet. 3 wise men visited the baby by King Herod. When the people got the news of a new baby king, they were very excited too, until the news reached King Herod. He was ruler over all the land, and he heard about the new baby king, and he called his counselors. Counselors, I want you to find the baby king, so I can worship him too. Then the 3 wise men said, okay, and they got to the desert. Before that even happened, Herod said, where was this baby supposed to be born? And they were talking about where the baby's supposed to be born, and one of the wise men said, in Bethlehem. And the king said, aha, I want you to go find the baby so I can worship him too. So the 3 wise men said, okay, and they headed off to Bethlehem. And they got there by a star in the sky, like their very own compass in the sky. And when they finally found the baby king, they said, we will give this fit for a king: gold, frankincense, myrrh. And they bowed down and worshiped baby Jesus. And you think they got back to King Herod that they found the baby, but no. God warned the 3 wise men to never go back to Herod, because Herod wasn't actually wanting to worship the baby. He was planning to kill him. And he was planning to kill him because he was jealous about the new baby king. So God warned the 3 wise men about not going back to King Herod. So after the 3 wise men left Jesus and his family, an angel spoke to Jesus' dad, Joseph, in a dream and said, take the baby and his mother to Egypt, because Herod is looking for the baby. I forgot the other words, what the angel said, but Joseph got with baby Jesus and got with his mother, and they got to Egypt with a donkey again. So Jesus will grow up with his earthly parents in a faraway land until it was time for things that he needs to do set by his Father. And when Jesus is already grown up, Jesus met someone named John the Baptist. John was a little freaky because he didn't live in cities like everyone else. He lived in the wild jungle, and he did not eat like what everyone else ate. He ate honey and bugs. So, being away from everyone else helped John to be closer with God. So God gave him a new message to share with the people. So John said in the city, "Okay, everybody, listen up." Hello, I said, listen up. And John said, we need to stop turning away from God because His kingdom is coming. The people were amazed, and more people started to hear John's message around the world. And people thought, is he a new prophet? But Israel did not have a prophet in over 500 years now. Maybe, and one of the persons said, maybe